Hello and welcome back to another Stonksy video. Today we're going to be looking at the massive drop that Bitcoin had yesterday at the time of recording it. Is looking at obviously the reaction to it, exactly what happened, and obviously looking at this superb trade that Stonksy called right up at $122,000. That double confirmation coming in there with the red background, red arrow, bang, there we go. And of course this cascade that we had yesterday explaining what happened, why, and of course where the market could go from here. Please do make sure you drop a big like on the video, make sure you subscribe, and make sure obviously you click them links in the description. There's a big Stonksy offer on at the moment, lifetime and annual subs 35% off, and of course our partners over at BLOFIN and BitUnits, you can find them links in the description to join and trade on there as well. But of course, yesterday we had a huge drop following PPI data. Now, Bitcoin was selling off after making a new all-time high, coming down steadily, obviously bled down from 124,000 down to just under around 121 before PPI data came in. Then we got this big, huge 5-minute candle, followed then by a liquidation. Then we obviously steadied off, and then at the time of recording, we have bounced, so it's looking like this potentially is the low. Now we'll discuss that low in just a second as well. But obviously what caused this? Well, the first thing is obviously extremely hot PPI data. It was massively above forecast, so that caught the market off guard. But also due to the nature of how the market has been, obviously not particularly on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been walking up slowly, but especially on altcoins, so you know, ETH, Solana obviously was walking up quite a lot as well before this happened. Link, a few of them to name a few, all obviously experiencing great big pushes up with minimal pullbacks. Now obviously this creates high open interest in the market and people get levered, you know, using big leverage, levered up to eyeballs really, which obviously creates the potential for a big cascade. So when we get something like this, obviously a news event, bad news, which it was, you get a quick cascade because people are levered up so much, positions start closing, which forces them to sell into the market, which then obviously forces the price down further, and you just get an absolute cascade of basically the price unwinding. As you can see, we've gone back all the way to the price of the 10th of August when we was last around these prices. Obviously we came down low, we came down to around here, so yeah, which is not actually that long ago. It's only the start at the end of last week at the time of recording. But obviously we've had a big push up on Bitcoin, but mostly obviously we saw in Ethereum and them other ones that have been walked up massively, a huge cascade in the price. But that is why it happens, you know, open interest walks up high, and then obviously when you get a trigger for something that injects volume into the market and it starts going one way or another, the high leverage, particularly obviously after price has been going up, people get overconfident, obviously have big positions open, big leverage. It just causes a cascade because it catches them off guard. Liquidations start happening, which then forces the price down further, and you get this type of move. Now obviously we have settled at the moment. Bitcoin is looking like obviously it's settled for the time being. Let's have a look at ETH and obviously look at what happened with that. So obviously ETH had been walked up greatly on the hourly. I believe it is still green as well. Yes, so on the hourly we are still green from around 3,600-ish, I believe. But if we go to the 5-minute, you can see on ETH as well. Now, if you look at ETH, firstly, that was a great exit by Stonksy there. But if you look, it was just steady, you know, relentless, just up only, no pullbacks, which creates a lot of, obviously, liquidity below all these lows as prices being walked up, which is what we saw yesterday. Them just get absolutely blown out, and obviously just resets the market, potentially for another push up, potentially for a retest of the highs, whatever comes next. We are in profit on a 5-minute double confirmation background, which is nice at the moment. But yeah, this is obviously seen across others, like I mentioned, Link, Solana, and a few others obviously that have been the outliers in the market for strength. Big wipeout. But yeah, that is what happened yesterday, and we did watch it live on stream. We do watch all these data releases live on stream, CPI, PPI, we do FOMC live as well, so do make sure you jump into the lives for any sort of US data, because yeah, we watched it live. We watched it unfold on stream, and it really was something to behold when this was happening. That is the perk of having Stonksy, obviously having this indicator to look at when things are starting to go south. And of course, you know, we focus on the 5-minute, the 1 hour, and a few others. But as you can see, this gave us the perfect indication. Now, obviously, another aspect is the Discord. Now, obviously when we get these high volatile moves, they don't happen too often to this extremity a lot. So I was keenly watching the market yesterday, and if you notice, obviously we bounced a bit, then we came back down. We was hovering in and around here, and I had an alert for potentially sweeping this low, because I wanted to see what happened. And then we got this push down on this 5-minute candle, if I zoom in on it, and then we pretty much just swept and bounced up very quickly. So I jumped straight into the Discord and I said, this liquidation wick, that was it, or the market is wrong, run it back up. So that was right after this candle closed, because it closed obviously obviously you could say that is a bullish hammer if you wanted to, and that was right after this. So I was on guard, watching, obviously being aware of what the market was doing. I was looking for a Bitcoin bottom myself. As you can see, we did actually come and test it later on that night. We came in, filled in some of the wick, but we haven't gone that low again so far. Now it looks like, obviously, like I mentioned, Bitcoin is building low time frame support here. But yeah, that's obviously another pro of Stonksy in the Discord. Now this week I have put in about Fartcoin. We got a great Fartcoin long on in the Discord. I put about Bitcoin for the start of the downturn. It was just before Stonksy got into the red here. I put it into the Discord around 100, just below 123 here, and then obviously we got the confirmation here. The reason I did that was because of the 4-hour candle. If we have a look at that horrendous 4-hour candle, as you can see, just complete absorption. So as soon as that closed, I thought, right, that doesn't look good. And then we got the Stonksy 5-minute indication, so I put that in. Obviously these aren't signals, these are just showing me, telling everyone what is looking interesting in the market. I don't, say my position or whatever, but people obviously can do with that what they will. I'll just say things like I said yesterday about the liquidation wick, run it back up. Obviously nothing is financial advice, nothing is to be taken as financial advice, it's just purely educational, of course, but it's good education, and obviously it's good tips for in the market, obviously looking out, and that's the bonus you get with Stonksy, is myself and others looking into the market and trying to tell you exactly what is going on, as I've dissected in this video, and why, and obviously what is looking at potential interesting areas. We do a lot of this on stream, but obviously out of stream hours in the Discord is where you get my attention if you need it, or I will put in my thoughts on the market or what I think is looking interesting. So yeah, another big reason to sign up to Stonksy is the Discord, aside from the indicator itself. Like I said, you can get 35% off annual and lifetime too with that link in the description. It's auto applied at checkout. But yeah, we'll see what we go from here. Obviously we've got some low time frame resistance up at 119,200, just above 200 at the time of recording. If we break above that, we could come and test obviously the sell-off point. We'll be going through it on stream today anyway. But yeah, obviously nice video covering exactly what happened, why, where we went from there. But the real value you get from Stonksy, because whether you're on a monthly plan, whether you get a discounted yearly plan, lifetime, whatever, the value is so great, because just off my analysis on what happened with this one candle could have made someone back the monthly cost or annual cost, maybe even the lifetime cost, depending on obviously the size of their trading accounts, the leverage that they're using, hopefully responsibly. But yeah, that is obviously a big bonus, and it's something I'm keen to do a lot more of, is just put my direct thoughts into the Discord as well, just to give everyone that little bit of extra value. So yeah, do make sure you sign up, and yeah, we will be going through any live trades on stream, so do make sure you jump in as well. If you aren't jumping in, make sure you jump into the streams. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully you didn't get caught out on this move. If you did, sign up to Stonksy. Obviously you get the indicator itself to back you and safeguard you, but also the Discord. Feel free to tag me anytime, ask me any questions, whatever it may be. And like I said, I'm always on guard to scour the market, see if anything's looking interesting. But especially at times like this, it can be very helpful to try and identify liquidation wicks or the bottom, or obviously good opportunities for the chance of a reversal. So yeah, please do drop a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.